The iPhone camera keeps getting better every single year, but most people don't even come close to unlocking its full potential. And that's kind of a shame because the whole new iPhone lineup, the 17, 17 Pro, and the iPhone Air all have pretty amazing cameras that I think you should be able to take advantage of. Here's the thing. All these new camera updates don't really matter if you're just always shooting on full auto. There's so many hidden controls, new settings, and pro tools baked right in that can completely transform your photos and videos. I'm going to show you the secrets Apple hides in plain sight, the settings that people don't know about, and the new Final Cut camera app, which gives you full manual control just like a real camera. Apple's new iPhone 17 lineup has brought the biggest new hardware upgrades in years. Let's break down exactly what's new. The new iPhone 17 and iPhone Air both share a new 48 megapixel camera. That means sharper detail and cleaner low light shots. The sensor's also physically bigger, pulling more light for better dynamic range and depth. On the back of the iPhone 17 Pros, they've completely redesigned the camera system, bringing 48 megapixels to each lens. They call this a 48 megapixel fusion lens system, which basically means they'll take a normal lens and crop it back down to 12 megapixels to give you an extra lens. This way, even though obviously the iPhone 17 Pros only have 3 cameras on the back, Apple kinda says that they have like 5. For example, now the iPhone 17 Pros technically have an 8x zoom unlike the 5x zoom on the iPhone 16 Pros because now it's a 48 megapixel lens and then they just crop it down to 12 megapixels. Macro photography also got some love this year because now the ultra-wide lens can focus twice as close, giving much more detailed shots of textures and flowers, things like that. But the biggest camera updates this year is definitely with the front-facing camera. With the whole 17 lineup, we now get an 18 megapixel center stage camera. This thing is actually really cool. They've now made a square sensor, so that means you can actually record either portrait or landscape without even having to rotate your phone. This square sensor is really cool and you can do a lot of things. For example, you can just hold your phone up and with a push of a button, change from portrait to landscape mode. Or, depending on how big the subject is, your phone can actually change the ratio of the photo to make sure everyone fits in the picture. And when you're recording video, your phone will actually use the extra space of the sensor that you're not using to help stabilize that video. You know when something's happening and you want to get a picture or video of it really quick before you miss it? Well, there's a bunch of ways to get to the camera app as fast as possible. For example, on the lock screen, you can either swipe from the right to the left to instantly get to the camera app, or if you have an iPhone 16 or newer, you can use the camera control button. This camera control button is honestly pretty hard to use, but there's ways to simplify it and actually make it pretty usable. In settings, you can find the camera control settings, and you can do things like make it so you have to double press the camera control in order for it to open the camera app. Or you can actually just select which app it opens. Then there's a lot to this camera control, but I think the most important thing is you could use it as a shutter. So when you're in the camera app, you can press the camera control and it'll take a picture. And if you want to take it one step further, you can do things like half press, double half press, which all does all sorts of different things, and you can kind of customize that in the settings app. This camera control can do things like let you zoom, but I think it's a lot easier to just zoom from the touchscreen itself, just like we've always been doing. So as you can see on the camera app, there's little buttons that help you zoom from 0.5 to 1x to 2x, 4x, depending on the phone you have. These are your different lenses, so although you can slide around and zoom in like crazy, I would try to stick to just these buttons because those will give you the most detailed shots possible. Okay, let's talk about some settings for video. So go to Settings, Camera, and Record Video. This is where the true power of the iPhone camera lives. First up is resolution and frame rate. There's all sorts of different resolutions and frame rates that your iPhone can shoot in, but I stick to 4K at 30 frames per second because I think that's the best. If you want more of a movie type look, you could do 24 frames per second because that's typically what they use, but I think 30 frames per second looks a lot more smooth and it's better for just filming your family or things like that. Then there's enhanced stabilization, and I like to always have that on. It does crop your photo a little bit, but it'll help stabilize the video. That way when you're running around filming, it's a little bit more stable and a lot less shaky. Then, if you want some really crazy video, you can use ProRes. ProRes basically just takes as much information as possible when you're taking a video, and then you have to go in later and edit it, but it'll make the editing process a lot easier. Just be warned, this takes a ton of storage, but Apple's actually thought of this and found a way to help with that. Now that your phones have USB-C, they're typically fast enough to record straight to a hard drive. That helps a lot because you could get a 1 terabyte hard drive and record ProRes straight to the hard drive, and it won't take up any of your storage. In iOS 26, the stock camera app got a huge upgrade, and now everything's in different places, and it might be a little bit confusing at first. First, let's check out the menu in the top right corner. Tap it, and suddenly you have pro level controls. Okay, let's talk about the new Final Cut camera app. If you want to take videos on your iPhone seriously, get this app, it's free, you might as well just do it. First thing you'll notice, manual controls everywhere. You can adjust exposure just like a DSLR, or set ISO and shutter speed, and even lock white balance so your color doesn't shift mid-shot. Then there's things like focus peaking. It highlights what's in perfect focus with bright colored edges, so you know your subject is sharp. See your input levels while you record and adjust on the fly. No more discovering your audio was peaking after the perfect take. You can also load LUT previews. So if you're shooting in a flat ProRes Log 2, you can see what graded footage will look like before you even hit record. This is obviously huge for creators that want to color grade later. And probably the most pro feature ever on an iPhone is Genlock support, which is coming with the new iPhone 17 Pros. With Genlock support, you can sync many iPhones together down to the exact frame, but you have to buy the Blackmagic Camera Pro dock. The best thing about the Final Cut Camera app is it connects directly to the Final Cut Pro app. You can sync multiple iPhones to the Final Cut Pro app on your iPad to get multiple angles of the same shot. Plus, then you can still record from the rear view camera on your iPhone and still see what you're filming from your iPad.